and it's recording. I'm always surprised when it records. We won't even go into those technical difficulties. Anyway, welcome back. Declan Finn, round 4 or step 3, depending on how you want to count these videos. Anyway, we're into marketing. Now, I went into some things in the last video. You're going to want a blog, you're going to want a website, you're going to want a cover, you're going to want good photos of yourself. Hey, if you are a writing duo and you want a good figurehead for your one pseudonym, go up and hire good-looking female. I recommend female mainly because both men and women look at women. Most men don't look at Brad Pitt except to say, really? Anyhow, next step. You notice on a lot of books you have blurbs from other authors. For example, for a pious man, I have sent out emails, or I will be sending out emails, to Vince Flynn, author of a whole bunch of thrillers, self-published his first book, Term Limits. Jeffrey Deaver, who created a book series that was made into a really terrible movie called The Bone Collector. Read the books. Please read the books. For the love of God, don't see the movie. Lee Child, who created Jack Reacher, the character played by Tom Cruise. Why they got a 5'6" Tom Cruise to play a 6'5" Jack Reacher? Don't ask me. James Patterson, who is the Book of the Month Club, comes out with at least a book a month. Nelson DeMille, who wrote the book for The General's Daughter, John Travolta movie. Read his books. Movies, 50-50. Douglas Preston, and Lincoln Child, who wrote some awesome books. And, oh yes, James Rollins. Yes, I'm just reading this. Now, believe it or not, this is not my list. And for the record, yes, I used the list as a bookmark. The list actually came from this guy, Chris Kuzniski. No, he's not related. Honest. In his introduction, he basically has that list for people he sent copies of his book to. And they all said, hey, great, we'll read it. They even contributed blurbs to it. Now, one of the people I've sent out letters to, and I've gotten a reply to already, was Vince Flynn. I did not get a response from Vince himself, but I got it from what I presume is the gatekeeper, dragon at the gate, press agent, who basically told me, oh, so sorry, we don't do that sort of thing. So many people want our attention. Go screw yourself. At least that's how I filtered it through the BS translator. But here's my problem. Vince would at least read this guy and his book when he self-published it the first time. So, I have no idea what's going on there. Maybe I can circumvent him. Maybe Kuzneski had his personal phone number, email address. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Especially if I can whack them over the head a few times. Metaphorically, don't come after me with threatening assault. If you do, well, you're a pussy. Anyway, so, like I said, try to get a hold of people who you want to read your books. When I wrote It Was Only on Stun, I had my target audience. It was a murder mystery set at a science fiction convention. Unfortunately, it was so heavy with in-jokes. There were so many. It was such a niche book. I'm not sure how many people will actually understand half the jokes. However, I had a target audience. I want to get blurbs from John Ringo, Timothy Zahn, who basically created the modern Star Wars novels, Peter David, if I could get my hands on him. If you don't know who Peter David is, type his name into Amazon and kill the next 3 hours of your life. And if you don't know who John Ringo is, he is basically a writing machine, writes for Bayan Books. Interesting guy. Met him, talked to him at Dragon Con down in Atlanta this past September. Problem. Timothy Zahn stated at one of his panels, "I'm sorry, I haven't read a piece of fiction in at least 10 years because he sees everything coming." That one's down. John Ringo, as I got close to him, told somebody else that, well, he was going to go into a writing mode, and he had taken up to reading a lot of authors so he could get his voice. He would read a book and write very much in the same tone as the book he just finished. And he was going to be writing on a streak, so he decided he was going to be rereading all of his own books. Strike two. And getting your hands on Peter David is kind of hard. By that point of the convention, I just said, enough, okay, I get it, I surrender. Hopefully you have better luck, hopefully you have better connections. That also comes in the marketing department. You know how Ponzi schemes work? Where you get recruited into this scheme, where they want you to get 2 other people, etc., etc. Welcome to basic marketing. At least word of mouth marketing. So you're going to want to talk to your friends, your family, all of their friends, all of their family, all their friends' families, etc. My school of marketing is basically jumping up and down, waving your hands in the air, and hoping to God somebody notices. Or they all block you on Facebook, Twitter, and every other internet media that you can find and you have access to. Anyway, I think I've burned everyone's time. This is the longest vlog so far. 8 minutes. I think I'm done. Anyway, hopefully I'll have more and better news next time. So, be well.
Patres et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.